doesn't make sense. Life on Earth didn't cease to exist.
Well,
He said it could not be stopped.
But it was. Somehow Elizabeth saved us. I've got to keep looking. Find out how she did it.
busy with school. So is school going well? Hopefully it is. Fox just started up today, so she got a little bit more of a vacation than you did, Landry's. But yes, welcome back, Leah. I'm glad you're here.
Kestrels. They got in. Through the vents.
Let nothing stop you from learning the truth.
Spread out! If it moves, kill it!
What is this place? Tomb?
I go. Okay, there's a guy over here.
The girl doesn't fall here. Neither should you. Move.
Can't get to him. Jerk. That's fine. How did they just dropped in? Alright.
I think there is some mistake. I don't understand why I was brought here. Why would you show me these things?
I know that there's already a lot to take in.
In the waiting area, I was seated with a Nobel laureate in biophysics and a monk, I think. He spoke neither English nor Mandarin. It is very strange. And General Harris? What was he talking about? The robot swarm, the Pharaoh plague? I understand it is terrible, but it really cannot be stopped? Why tell us this? There are people in Shanghai, my friends, my family. They have joined Operation Enduring Victory already. It is for nothing? We will all die?
We're going to be able to answer some of these questions.
I just want to know why I am here. It doesn't make sense to me.
You were brought here because of your skill set.
No, that can't be right. I am an art historian.
We're too close to
I know
Latrobe
Dutch
to stop us
masters,
now.
Japanese
The
calligraphy,
data points. What did
Gerhard
they
Richter.
contain?
What does that matter now?
I do want to go back. I didn't know he was going to start talking. I do want to hear what she was a specialist in. She's a specialist in, like calligraphy. I'm an art historian. I know Dutch masters, Japanese calligraphy, Richter. So maybe she was brought in to help, like, I don't know, like, document it?
You previously worked for Pharaoh Automated Systems.
On the Chariot Line self-replication routines? I came here thinking this was a rendition. When your people took me, I thought, about time. I've been trying to swallow the guilt every day since...
Would you like to take a moment?
No, I really hoped Zero Dawn was a way to undo it all. My work. And I'm sorry to say I was ever proud of it, but Ted could really sell a concept, and in the labs, in the light of creation.
Sounded
that
great.
First test run. When you saw they understood their own structures, could rebuild themselves from memory and light, there were no limits. God, there were no limits.
Yeah, it seems like a really cool idea. However, again, while you don't give machines their understanding.
Want to discuss?
Whew. So, Mama, she was right.
Pardon?
My mother, she took her Bible real serious. Not just Texas Bible serious, Pentecostal serious. Favorite chapter? Revelations. Now, I didn't always understand her on account of all that speaking in tongues and such, but when she did use her words, there was always end times this and lake of fire that on account of sinful lifestyles. Speaking of which, mind if I smoke?
A tobacco cigarette.
Sorry, darling. My tastes run classic. Compliments to your team tracked me down. Been a price on my head 18 months now. Sterling Malky was me, don't mind admitting. Been plenty of snakesters chasing the bounty too. But I kept the zigging to their zag. How'd you finger me?
I believe Dr. Sobek listed you as an alpha candidate. Priority snatch and grab.
Ha!
Always suspected she had a little thing for me.
Ugh.
Hey, I don't suppose you got real coffee in this place. You know, blood coffee? Conflict cappuccino?
Oh my goodness.
Mr. Tate, I'm clearing you to proceed. Just go.
just go. I don't want to listen to you talk anymore.
That is accurate, yes. So these mechanical monstrosities, they don't just kill people. They feed off them?
Yes.
Not just people. All organic matter. Every living thing dissolved into nutrients. Millennia of evolution liquefied. The miracle of life reduced to bloody biofuel.
In a word, yes.
Who did this? Pharaoh? That arsehole. Is he here?
No, Doctor.
Please, tell him Tom Pike wants a word. Now, get off! Get off!
Alright, we gotta go back to the right.
Please! You get Ted Pharaoh in here!
Look, let's cut the mystery. You're building a colony ship. It's obvious.
No.
And it's not gonna fly. I mean, literally. Remember the Odyssey? That multinational heap of space junk that's been in graveyard orbit since 57? That went nowhere real slow, and you have to get somewhere real fast. Do you have any idea the immensity of the challenge to prep a new colony ship in time?
To be clear, I'm not a worker on the project.
Do you even understand how few people it could save? The whole generation ship concept is not gonna happen. It's the first thing you'd abandon in favor of embryonics. For that kind of storage, we're talking a lot of bulk, a lot of power, a lot of resources. So even if you do it, even if you build it and point it at Sirius X, there's no room for people on that thing, all right?
If you could try to remain calm.
You people are crazy if you think you're getting off this rock. No one's getting off.
Okay, then you can die. What do you want from us?
I'm sure you now understand the urgency of why we brought you here, Ms. Okilo.
Captain Okilo, are you trying to thank me for not resisting?
I believe we could negotiate a diplomatic solution.
When it came to my country's lithium, it was always a swarm that would be sent to negotiate. Metallurgic International, US Robot Command. The markings changed, but the robots were the same.
Yeah.
You have had considerable experience in human-robot conflict.
Yes, and I've got the prosthetic limbs to show it. Yet I continue to face this horror, even though the challenge was great. Cyber warfare. I thought Zero Dawn would be a Manhattan project to generate the deactivation codes. With the resources I had, I estimated code breaking to be a hopeless endeavor. I was almost looking forward to being proved wrong.
No.
Unfortunately, your estimation was correct.
As your General Hera said. So then, you did not bring me here to commiserate. What is left?
Oh, I'm loving this. This is just so great. Counselor guidelines. Quest. For debriefing after presentation 1, candidates must be allowed to ask questions and be given the necessary time to fully absorb the information they have received. It is important to be aware that candidates have just been exposed to triggers for severe mental and emotional trauma. Do not assume silence or outward calmness indicates acceptance. It is essential to stress that all other options for combating the Pharaoh Plague and preserving the continuation of human life have been considered and found unworkable. Communicate this fact calmly, but clearly and firmly. Familiarize yourself with data on the catastrophic environmental impact of nuclear engagements versus the swarm. Addendum B1. And unfeasibility of maintaining life in orbit, lunar, or undersea structures. Addenda C1, C2, C3. So that you can counter candidates' objections in depth. If a candidate asks for time alone to review supplementary information, allow this without hesitation. Be sure to inform security personnel so the candidate can be monitored for attempts at self-harm. That's what I was going to say. If you leave them alone, candidates should only be cleared to proceed to presentation 2 if you believe their mental state is sufficiently stable. Note that real-time support will be available via your focus. Security and medical crisis teams are data corrupted. Zero these ones out.
With Suzanne Alpert, environmental scientist. Doctor?
I'm sorry, I wasn't,
Just stating your name. What were you thinking about, Doctor?
Nothing the General said. Not really. I was on the Syzygy East Response Team in 2051, just after the second earthquake compromised the reactor. I still dream about it, after all these years. The red zone spreading on the imaging, slowly, so slowly, like a hand opening its fingers.
Your involvement in that event is why you were asked for by name.
Really? That's interesting. Because nothing worked. Nothing could grow there again. It was a catastrophic failure. But the red zone is a blip compared to global-scale biomass reduction. The biosphere and hydrosphere will collapse, render the Earth uninhabitable long before the robots finish us. Enduring victory can't buy time against that. So, you'd better show me what Zero Dawn really is.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, golly goodness. Just want to make sure we had that last one filled in there. This one. Okay. Alright. Let's go.
CD02 data intact. Initiating playback.
Elizabeth Sobek.
You've heard the bad news, and it's all true. The Pharaoh Plague is devouring the biosphere. Life itself will cease to exist. But does that have to be the end? What if we could give life a future? What if we could build a kind of seed from which, on a dead planet, life could blossom anew? This is the aim, the hope, of Project Zero Dawn.
Oh.
To create a super intelligent, fully automated terraforming system and bring life back from lifelessness.
Oh!
What would such a system require? At its core, it would need a true AI, fully capable of making the trillions of decisions necessary to reconstitute the biosphere. An immortal guardian, devoted to the reflourishing of life. We call it Gaia. Mother Nature as an AI. But that's just the core of the system.
Wow.
She will need to be surrounded and empowered by a comprehensive suite of subordinate functions. Think of them as extensions of Gaia's mind, each dedicated to a specific purpose. Now, these aren't AIs, but make no mistake, each presents an engineering challenge more profound than anything the human species has ever before attempted. Hardware that preserves and then gestates the billions of seeds and embryos from which life will be reborn. The construction of underground facilities to hold it all. And that's just the start. We don't have to build the entire system. The beauty of a fully automated terraforming system is that it can build itself.
Yeah.
Now, over the days to come, you'll learn how all these functions, all these pieces that you'll be working on, fit together. How we'll race the clock to execute our harvest initiatives, write the software, build the tech and the facilities. How we'll lock it down and seal it up before the inevitable occurs. But even more important, you'll know how it doesn't end here. How Gaia will generate those deactivation codes General Harris talked about, and build the transmission arrays to broadcast them, shutting down the Pharaoh robots for good. How Gaia will not just build, but imagine any conceivable robot it needs to do its work across centuries. From detoxifying the Earth's ravaged atmosphere and poisoned seas, to the regreening of the Earth from cryopreserved seed stalks. To rewilding the Earth with animal life. And then, when all that is done, how a new generation of human beings, spawned at cradle facilities around the globe, will partake of Apollo, the vast archive of human knowledge and cultural achievement from which they will learn of us, our world. And most important, how not to repeat our mistakes. It's not an impossible dream. It is within our grasp if we work tirelessly and stop at nothing to achieve it. We can't stop life from ending. But if you will help me, help Gaia, we can give it a future. Join me and help make that future real.
That's pretty freaking heavy.
The whole Earth destroyed, but then remade?
Wow.
Yes. By a machine. A machine of creation.
Elizabeth did this. For life. For us. But why Hades then? If it was part of Gaia, how'd it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh robot? And why does it want to kill me? And Apollo, the Archive of Knowledge, what happened to that?
Yeah, where's Apollo?
I'm as confused as you are. Maybe the answers lie ahead.
Not gonna lie, that presentation got me, like, starting to get some feels. I was just, like, imagining, like, what it would actually be like if that happened. And how these poor people, like, just learned about it. Like, man. It's pretty damn heavy. Not gonna lie. Alright, make your selection. Quest. You are now in possession of information regarding the true nature and purpose of Project Zero Dawn. Classified far above top secret. As such, we regret that you cannot be allowed to leave this facility. There are 3 options available for you at this point. Please consider each carefully. Trained counselors are standing by to assist you in making your choice. 1. Participation. You will be assigned to a sub-project team based on your area of expertise. You should be aware that the way forward will be difficult for the project outcome is uncertain. You will be expected to work a minimum of 80 hours per week, and your communication with family members will be strictly limited and monitored in real time. Upon successful completion of the project, you and your immediate family, or 2 persons of your choosing, will be transferred to the Elysium sealed habitat to live out the remainder of your natural lives. Indefinite detention. Number 2. Should you choose to decline participation in Project Zero Dawn, you will be confined indefinitely. You will be given 48 hours to reconsider, after which your decision to refuse participation will be considered irrevocable. Every reasonable effort will be made to make your term of confinement as comfortable as possible, but you will not be permitted contact with the outside world, and death within 18 months due to the Pharaoh Plague is inevitable. When the Zero Dawn facility is abandoned, detainees who wish not to opt for medical euthanization will be released. Number 3, medical euthanasia. The information you have just received understandably calls into question the purpose of continuing to live. If you would prefer to end your life at this point, pain-free medical euthanasia is available. A 48-hour waiting period is required, during which time you may instead opt for participation or confinement. Please notify a counselor when you are ready to make your choice, or if you have further questions. Yes, that art historian was going to work on Apollo, which is why I was like, if she's an art historian, like, there has to be something with history. And then when we saw Apollo, what the heck happened to Apollo? And I apparently wasn't paying attention because I didn't notice that Hades was a thing, was one of the options. So I missed that. I'm glad they called it. Counselor guidelines number... Oh gosh, we're missing something! Oh no, we're missing something way far back. For debriefing and presentation 2. It is vitally important that candidates choose to participate in Project Zero Dawn voluntarily and knowingly, without additional coercion and without value judgment on their part of the counselors. Without value judgment. Confirm for candidates that they were selected due to their skill set and accomplishments. Emphasize that their dedicated participation in Zero Dawn will increase the project's chance of success. Frame participation in Zero Dawn as an opportunity to respond actively in the face of an overwhelming threat. Candidates may question the fairness of their selection. Validate such objections as normal, even in admirable responses. Emphasize the value of candidates' expertise to the future, not just of humanity, but terrestrial life as the whole. Likewise, candidates may balk at the morality of extending their lifespan and those they love once beyond Zero Day. Validate their hesitation. Acknowledge that while the reward of Elysium is not fair, it will be earned. If possible, redirect their ethical misgivings towards greater commitment to the project. When candidates challenge the plausibility of Project Zero Dawn, permit them to review Dr. Sobek's presentation as many times as they wish, and allow access to supplemental articles G01 through P20. Allow them to suspend the interview to fully process the documentation. A significant minority of candidates will elect for medical euthanasia. It is important to receive this decision kindly and without judgment. Advise them of the 48-hour waiting period, during which counselors will be available to discuss their decisions. Emphasize that euthanasia will not occur without repeat consent when the procedure is scheduled to take place. No one will be euthanized against his or her will. Candidates who elect indefinite detention must be informed that they have 48 hours to reverse their decision, after which the decision data corrupted. Gosh, it's so heavy. What was this thing? Oh, it's to make your selection thing. Got it. Okay. Ah, more stuff.
Of course I'll do it. To be given the opportunity to rebuild what the damage that I don't feel worthy of it, but I will do it, absolutely.
I want to stress that this was never about your culpability.
It is to me. Dr. Sobek, Margot, they were smart to get out of Pharaoh when they did, but not one of us took it as a warning sign. It just told ourselves that we're cut out for the BTRI cabals. That's the better than rapid innovation. Better at competing, better than the next guy, a better killing machine. It's just amazing how a century and a half of science fiction did nothing to swerve our species from the path of doom. I mean, I'm done with that life. I mean, I will work hard, twice as hard to earn this, for my family to have a place in Elysium. I never thought that there could be atonement.
Good for him. So, Elysium is very funny because if you have been with me for a while, we played a game a while back called Deponia. And basically, Deponia, it's basically a trash planet. And up above, the people creating the trash are the Elysiums. And that is basically happy, fancy, amazing, perfect society. And the Elysiums know nothing about what's going on down in Deponia. They think it's just a dead planet. They don't even know people live there. So with all this talk of Elysium being this, like, perfect, wonderful place, I just keep thinking about Deponia. So, it's a point-and-click adventure. If you're interested, there's, I think, 3... Actually, there might be 5 stories now. It's very good. It's a really fun, very funny point-and-click adventure. But back to Horizon Zero Dawn.
If you're still nauseous. No, the inhibitors have kicked in. I can't feel the back of my tongue. I wish I could tell you I'd believe in this. But the damage is too great, too extensive, too complete. With all respect to Dr. Sobek's work at Miriam, no. No, life doesn't always find a way to keep going. Sometimes it never comes back. Like Syzygy East. Like the Congo. Like Timo. Like us. That's our reward? A buried city full of terminal patients waiting out the clock? You'd grow old together, with your loved ones, in safety. I don't have loved ones. I suppose I could start a family? I'm afraid not. All inhabitants of Elysium will be medically sterilized. A habitat capable of sustaining a starting base of 2,000 individuals for up to 100 years is a huge challenge, Dr. Alpert. If the population grows instead of diminishes, everyone will be dead inside 30 years. I knew it. I just couldn't bring myself to say the words. I'm sorry? Finish it. Medical euthanasia. I want no part of this. I just want it over. I see. Protocols require a 48-hour waiting period, after which...
See to make sure I behave this time?
Security. For your protection. Would you like to discuss how you're feeling?
Sure. I'll tell you. Surprised. Flabbergasted. Like my own man would say, flabbergasted. That vein pumping in his forehead. I thought you people were just completely underprepared for a spaceflight project. But now I can see it's worse. Much worse. Sobek is a total fantasist, a dangerous fantasist. This kind of blue skying, it's... Jesus. I'm sorry we wasted each other's time. I'm ready to leave now.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Everything you're talking about here isn't possible.
I recommend you read the documents regarding your options.
I've seen enough. I'm getting out of here. What did you... You don't... Get your hands off me!
I was kind of waiting for, like, a gunshot. Yeah. I mean, I think we all know that that's basically what happened, but... Oh, what is this? Handcuffs. Stranded shackles? Special items. This mysterious item is valuable only to the most curious merchants. Shackles made from an unknown smooth material. Okay.